Hey there, I'm doing something a little bold this month. And if you've ever wanted to take a real look inside a business, you're going to want to follow this because people usually show you the highlight reel of their business. People show you what is glamorous about their business, the polished version that everything is working out in their business. And I am actually going to show you the behind the scenes of what is not working in a business and the ways that we can fix those things. So, welcome to the Executive Edit with Paige Engle podcast where real business gets refined. This is probably the most honest I'm going to be about what actually happens inside of a business. Some people may like that, some people may not. So let me tell you what we're actually doing here. So, for the next month, I'm going to be showing up and taking you behind the scenes of what it actually looks like to run, fix, and grow a business. Not the curated version, not the we hit six figures overnight version. I'm talking about the real decisions, the real challenges, and the real shifts that happen for a business to actually move forward. You may be thinking, we probably haven't met yet. And let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I am Paige Engle, and I'm a fractional executive and interim CEO, which means that I step into businesses at a leadership level and help them get clear, organized, and actually grow strategically. And let me tell you what I've learned after my years in business and in these roles. There's a massive difference between what a business looks like that's successful and actually what makes it run well. I've walked into many businesses that looked beautiful on the outside. The branding was on point, the marketing was polished, the speeches were great, and behind the scenes, chaos in a blazer. And I'm all about telling the truth here. People see what they want to see. People see revenue. They see content. They see visibility. But what they don't see is what is breaking behind the scenes, what hiccups are happening, where things are getting stuck, and how the decisions are and aren't being made to get the business to run more efficiently. So, let me give you a few real examples because this may be where it actually clicks for you. I'm going to share with you about a business. This could be your business, or you may know her. I worked with a brilliant founder. She had a team of 10. It was successful on paper, but she was still working 15-hour days. Why? Because every single process lived in her head. I was like, if you get run over by a bus, God forbid, how will your business run? Every time she stepped away, the business stalled. So we created a living operational manual. You guys have heard of SOPs before. And we got everything that was into her head out onto paper so that her team could be able to handle it. And the shift, she was able to go to Paris and not check her email once. And for those of you who know me, you know I adore Paris and I lead small groups there every year. So that was a goal worth working for. And then we also have people who are leaking money in their business. And I am a fan of money. And when it's leaking out and you don't know why or where it's going, that is a big problem. I also had a client that was in the high six figures, but she constantly felt broke. And when we looked closer at her business, her onboarding process was a mess. Miss invoices, missed proposals, inconsistent follow up. Things were always slipping through the cracks. She wasn't broke, her systems were. And that's where I came in. We built together an automated client journey system from the first inquiry to the final payment, and that plugged up a lot of her holes. And suddenly, the revenue that she was actually earning actually stayed in her business and allowed her to reinvest it in her business. And if I can't help you with that step, I know a slew of other professionals who can. And then the last one that I want to share with you is something that I see all the time, and it drives me nuts. It is the CEO who has become a glorified assistant in her own company, answering questions all the time, thinking she's the only one who can do it, putting out all the fires, stuck in the weeds, not leading. So we put together a communication guardrail. And this helped her clarify the roles, shifted her out of that chief answer officer mode and back into CEO mode. And that's when her business was ready to scale. So, what does this mean for you? What is this podcast really about? This podcast is really about me pulling back the curtain on all of it. And if you know me, you know I'm going to give you real talk. I'm going to be walking you through what I'm seeing in businesses right now, what's working, what's not working, how I think through problems, and what I would actually do to fix them. Because sometimes you don't need more information. You don't need more consultants. You just need a better perspective or a fresh perspective to help you, kind of like a co pilot when it comes to handling your businesses and some of the challenges that come. Now, depending on where you're at with your business, this whole podcast may hit you differently. If you're a business owner, you're probably going to start seeing your own gaps real quick, and that's a good thing. And if you're thinking about stepping into a more strategic role like consulting or operations or even executive leadership, this is going to be your window into what it actually looks like. Not the title, not what you think you see on LinkedIn, but the thinking and the processes behind it. Okay. And as we go, you know me, I will be sure to share tools and resources that can actually help you use these tools and keep everything running smoothly, because with the right tools used well can change everything. So you will be seeing some affiliate links in my comments. And if you want to check them out, that'd be great. And yes, sometimes I do get compensated for that, but I will tell you what works and what doesn't work. And if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, yeah, but this isn't something that's working for my business, or I really can't see that, happening in my business, that's where I come in. I actually offer some savoir faire strategy sessions where we can sit down, look at your business together, and map out what actually needs to change. You know what? So if you're ready for structure and you're ready for clarity and a business that should run the way it should, you can always book me below in the links below if that's something. Or if you're someone that thinks that they want to step into this world yourself, I support you in that too. Either way, this is your starting point. All right, that's all I wanted to share with you today. I appreciate you hanging in there. I'm a little bit under the weather, and I will be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone.